Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, Senior Editor over at thecoalition.com.
And I'm Josh Lanish, writer for the Coalition.
Oh, man, people, this has been a crazy week. Not just here on the channel, but in life. As you can see, new scenery for Josh. He's traveling. What, Rhode Island?
Yes, sir.
That's a fake place. That is a fake place.
Tell
That's where
that
the
to the
pirates
people here.
live. Right? Yeah, there's nobody there. Nobody there. I knew one person that was from Rhode Island, and he lived on Staten Island. That was a funny thing. I was like, "Oh, where you from?" "Oh, Rhode Island." "And you decided to move here?" And it's like it wasn't by choice. It was over a girl. You know how that works, right?
It's funny. I joined a soccer league recently, and I was walking with these guys, and the guy was like, "I'm from Sweden." I was like, "Oh, what brought you here?" And he was like, "Love." I was like, that's a good reason, right? I was like, "Oh, yeah."
That's it. I was like, "Oh," and then he showed you, and it was a turtle. It's like, look at this turtle. I love the turtle. Oh, you mean a human? I got that in Sweden, but the turtles out here, they're awesome. But yeah, people, hey, a lot going on. Real quick housekeeping, as you see, a lot happening on the channel. Of course, we're still covering Chief of War, and that's what this is. This is for episode 6, the Splintered Paddle. But then we also have the terminal list that's going on. We just dumped episode 1, 2, and 3, the Dark Wolf. It's the prequel series of the terminal list. If you haven't seen that with Chris Pratt and stuff, really good. And then, of course, Dexter Resurrection. So I think we're up, just finished episode 9. So by the time this is out, you'll see that episode 9 should be up. And man, that show, woof, that's it. See, Josh, you haven't been watching, but when you do, you're gonna love it. You're gonna understand why Paramount canceled Original Sin, and they were like, "Nah, we're just going all in on this." They've already confirmed.
I was watching Original Sin, and
yeah. No, you could stop right now. So save that time that you're gonna use on that to catch up on Resurrection. Gotcha. But yeah, so we got all that going on. And just again, thanks for the comments, thanks for the subs, thanks for the follows and the shares. You know, we see the numbers go up in all different parts. Some people don't follow right away, but then we can see they watch it. Other people share it. We get to see that as well. You know, thank you. Just thanks for sticking around.
You're having fun.
That's it. Joining the conversation. We got a bunch of people that they're just catching up on Revival, which finished a few weeks ago, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm on episode 2 and 3," and I was like, "Oh, that's fine, whatever." You know,
I missed that show. That was
I missed that show too. You know, so hopefully we get a season 2. I'm still looking out for that one. But yeah, just wanted to get all that out the way. A lot of thank you and all of that. And hey, let's get into this because we said this while we were watching this, Josh. This was a slower, or we should say a filler episode. They were setting a lot of things in motion, but if you were expecting a lot of crazy fights or any of that type of stuff, that didn't happen in this one.
It's funny because I feel like a lot of people, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, they just want action and everything every single episode, and like I don't mind episodes that build, but the last episode felt like it was building, and the episode kind of before was a lot of conversation. So it's like
I mean, we have to understand where they're coming from. It's in the title, Chief of War, right? And you see Jason Momoa screaming. So we're like, oh, this is going to be nonstop violence. The way they promote it, same thing. A lot of the trailers show a lot of violence and stuff, and we got that in the first episode. You know, we got to see some of that, and then a little bit when he made it to shore on on that island. But it's been kind of quiet since then. And I get it. I get why people are a little bit upset. But I mean, for the historical aspect, the scenery, the acting, the set designs, it's top notch. I mean, this doesn't feel low budget at all. It's quality right here. But then we also had some people in the comments saying, hey, they're not historically accurate with some of this stuff. You got to also take into consideration, it is a TV show.
My one qualm with this episode was just like, it's a lot of stuff that we kind of got already. Like, we know KOA is starting his thing. Like, I thought they were gonna fight him this episode. You know, I thought they were just gonna attack him. Today was the day. You know, but again, it's like no. But again, like I mean, there's some power plays here. A lot of people communicating with each other that we normally didn't have communicated before, trying to build allegiances and stuff. So, all right. So yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
I have my notes here on my phone, not like how I do at home. So I'm not just texting and doing stuff and trying to keep in mind.
Yeah, he's doing some multitasking. He's on this.
I'm like,
talk to his buddies.
Yeah,
like,
hello, yeah. All right. So where do we start? Okay, so we start with Kamehameha and Kayana overlooking the burnt destruction of those like those food storage facilities that Kamehameha had set in place.
Oh yeah.
So
really this is war. Sucks. This is war. I mean, Kayana says it. He's like, this is it. It's time for war. She's like, no, we can't. We have to talk about this. I can talk to my cousin. It's like, what? We're not talking
Kupuohi,
about. Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about? This is it. We're going to war. Look what they did. Yeah, and then it was like a lot back and forth, and Kamehameha's wife gets involved on it, and she's like, no, she's right.
It's just the gist of it. They're in the rubble. They're looking at everything. Everything's burned. They're upset, obviously. Kayana he wants to just go for the action. He wants to just attack. And Kamehameha is not sure how to approach the situation. Kupuohi is like, hey, let me talk to them. He's my cousin, which I didn't even know about that before. Keoa is her cousin, and she's from that part of Hawaii, right? So she wants to go talk to, but Kayana's like visibly upset. He's like, look, like no, like don't go. Adam, why is he upset here?
Why he's upset? Yeah. Because there's a few reasons. One, he's got guns. He can just go. He's got the red mouth. Come on now. He traveled across the ocean with all these weapons to fight. And this, for most people, this is just cause, right? There's always a time to talk in peace and stuff, but then they just burnt down your food supply. They didn't just kill some chickens. They didn't say, all right, we just burnt all your cloths or whatever it is that you were using to craft. No, this is their food, their livelihood, their stockpile. He's trying to starve them out. So no, this is the time for war, and that's what he's here for. But no, his wife is against it. Kamehameha,
and he wants Kamehameha to meet with him in the what was it, Black Desert?
Yeah,
calling it
that. Yeah. But it's just I'm still confused with how the show is portraying Kamehameha. 1 minute like we talked about it, he's the ultimate badass, holds the stone, longest underwater, everyone respects him. The guy looks like a walking mountain. He's stacked. He's a stocky guy.
Visibly, but we've never seen him really fight. We've never seen him fight yet.
No, but he's farm strong, I guess. That's what they're trying to say, because he keeps saying that he's a farmer, and it's like, I don't really know all this stuff. Yeah, but you're the god of war. It's like that's a big deal, and you just gotta.
I think because he's a god of war because of his reasoning, his tactical reasoning, his way of approaching something and looking at it before attacking, unlike his cousin Keoa, who obviously is drawn by brute strength and prophecy or whatever he feels is entitled to him. You know what I mean? Not even the prophecy of like the prophecy that kind of Kaylee is following. It's the prophecy that he's made in his own head. So, but then even before that, we go to the kingdom of Ai in the Kau district. Keo is sitting and he decides to burn his father's maheole.
Yeah,
if I'm saying that wrong. It's the
headdress, because he was like, no, I'm done. Out with the old, in with the new. It's all about me now. Really full of himself. I'm surprised by that. I'm really surprised.
And he's going against his father completely. He's like, yeah, I'm done. Like, what does he say? He says he no longer fights to preserve his kingdom. He wants to burn it, right?
Oh, boy.
And he will build his own, even if this one burns. So he's going crazy a little bit. Everyone's going crazy.
Everybody's going crazy. He's definitely losing it. Remember he had some of his own councilmen in the last episode. It's like, hey, what are you doing? Just calm down. He was getting nuts. We saw it in the one even before that when he's punching his own tooth out. In the last episode, when he was standing in front of the steam, it was popping up what was it?
Yeah, but
The
he's like
geyser.
trying too
Yeah,
hard.
he's trying very hard. Like he's trying to make up for. It sounds like he's making up for old time. Like he's been. This is all built up. He couldn't wait for his dad to pass so that way he can do this, and he's just full force ahead. He's rushing everything. I have to do this. I have to do that. I don't know.
Taylor's all the time with that one.
Yeah.
But then we have Kalakili. He's sitting in his. He's doing some kind of ritual, and this guy's singing to him about being the prophesized one and giving him strength. They cut a fish and they put it into this water, and the water's boiling, and he sips something and he starts having visions. And then as that's happening, we also see his son who's talking with his friend or this guy that we've seen him previously with. I guess they were having like physical relations.
Oh yeah, they're close.
Yeah.
And that guy's even telling him also, it's like, your dad's lost it. It's like he can't do this anymore. People are talking and they're saying it's time for you to step up. Now that could just be this guy talking. It's like it always goes there, right? Yo, people talking. There's a rumor. Who told me these people? They're everywhere, man. People
but I like
everywhere.
that they're aware, because you always see like in like shows, movies, and things, when the evil person or the bad guy's rising, everyone's just like, okay, yeah, let's follow. Like we never see that. Like, yeah, this guy's crazy. Like imagine if all the stormtroopers in Star Wars like turned around and was like, yeah, Palpatine's tweaking right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like we never really see that. So
no, but I think in this case it's sort of like, and even in that, if you want to start linking with Star Wars, you're stuck. You're on this Death Star. Where are you going to go? So it's the same type of situation here. It's like, yeah, a lot of people feel this, but where are they going to go? Because their kingdom is warring with other kingdoms. So you can't. And then we even get a little bit of that when Kamehameha tells his story, which is also leading up to the namesake of the episode. It's that whole thing. You just can't show up somewhere else because then they see you instantly as a threat.
But here's my thing, and this is what I feel like the show hasn't answered. I don't know if it's because of casting or whatever, but what is Kaikili's numbers? How many people does he have? Because we have districts of all these islands. Every island has chiefs and all that stuff. It seems like everyone's against them in some way. Like, so what's stopping everyone from just,
Yeah, we haven't heard numbers, that type of thing. No, it hasn't come up, so we don't know.
But yeah, basically to the Prince Kupuohi that, hey, they want you to lead. People are talking about, you're more learned, you're more wise when it comes to tactics.
Yeah, he's level-headed. That's pretty much it. They see all the stuff. They don't believe that the prophecy, this is the way of the prophecy from his father. It's like, no, that's out the door. He's doing everything for himself at this point. And he says, no, he hasn't lost it. He's straight a little bit, but he hasn't lost it. He's still a great man, a great warrior. He doesn't want to give up on his dad.
Yeah, so, he doesn't want to, but he loves his father, but
I feel like it's one of those situations, and I brought up when we were watching. I was like, how does he approach this? Let's say he listens to his buddy. He's like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Goes, hey, Dad, I think this is a little bit too much for you. I think I should be ruling right now. Oh, wait, hold on. I got a pain in myself. Oh, Dad, did you just stab me? Are you stabbing
He does.
He would kill him.
He does. Later on, he goes up to him and says, hey, look, this and that. And then his dad's like, yeah, you're right. And just kind of like flips the whole thing. But I mean, like, if you really wanted to attack him, then, but he knows it's battle, No,
that was just saying, hey, you need to tone it down. I'm saying if he would have stepped up, I'm like, no, I need to rule now. You're not fit to be king. Because that's what his buddy's telling him. You need to take the throne. That's what I'm saying. If he was to do that, I'm sure his dad would just stab him. He'd just kill him. I think he's that power hungry, and we see how he handles everything. We'll get into that when that happens, but
it's about him, erasing bloodlines, and it seems like everyone's really like attached to still the idea of like everyone individually having their islands and their culture. It's not like everyone's just going to freely back this guy just because of a prophecy. But anyways, then we skip over on the same. Well, now we were in Maui there. Now we're back to Hawaii, in the Koala district, and Nahi's
just coming up.
Oh no! This is okay. So this was that picture here was Kaikili after he took the substance that he was drinking. He started having visions, and I wasn't sure if it was things that he did or things that he's.
I think we still don't know. I think we don't know what it was. It could have been visions. It could have been.
There was a lot of people getting their throats slit and water bubbling, and
Well, we haven't seen that yet, so maybe it was. Maybe it was. He was just getting high, if we want to just say it in layman terms, right? That was it. He was just like taking it, something that was just giving him
So
what.
before even this image, we have Nahi. He's hitting a tree. He's training, and Heke shows up, and she's like, "Hey, look, like
His
my
wife.
sister. Yeah, my sister has never taught me how to fight. Her sister is also Kupuohi, who's Kayana's wife. She's like she's never let me learn how to fight. Like that's especially they left her behind every time they did anything. So she's
Yeah.
like, can you teach me? And and then she also brings up an interesting point because when they start fighting and really getting into it, she says to him, have you noticed Kayana and my sister have been acting different towards each other?
Hmm.
And he's like, no, not. I mean, he knows the whole deal, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't buy that. I feel like now I feel this being planted because we're not seeing that. We're not seeing anything. They're spending a lot of time together still. She's by his side in all these scenes.
but
She's
there's
there.
there's resentment building up. They're not
I
the same.
think no, 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 no. I think that's in her own head about stuff because remember she knew what was going on with the other brother. Remember there
She
was that
saw it
whole
too.
thing. Remember she saw that. She saw that because remember she approached him when Nahai when he was upset about it. She says, hey, it's been a long time. She's been alone for a while. She was trying to justify it. Do you remember that? It was like a few episodes back, like just
Mm.
when the brother was like courting her, like trying
Okay,
to hang
yeah,
out,
all right.
and
So
he
then why
was the
would she
one.
be wondering what's going on?
He
Like,
was
obviously,
grunting. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. It's more like that messaging was for us not to forget, as if that's going to come back to haunt,
mm.
or it's going to play a factor again. Don't
They don't look
forget
that
there was some
happy
issues.
though. That's 100%. Like, obviously, even with the fighting and everything happening in the beginning, like, it's something's
I
there.
think why he's not happy though is because he has his mindset. And remember, even when they were having that whole discussion, the the councilman shows up and he was like, "Does she speak for you? Do you feel the same? To Kayana?" And he was like, no. It's like, and he rolled his eyes at her. It's like why are you? It was very Star Trek Next Generation Worf. What woman? What are you doing? Klingon to the men. It's like one
Well,
of those.
yeah, and then especially in the next scene when she shows up and Khan is like fixing his guns and playing with his stuff, and she's like, "Oh man, you have the pale man's habit." You're like, look so,
Right. And then
and it's
he should
crazy
have
because
came.
like nothing has changed after all these years.
Yeah, he should have just. But then you know what? Some things have changed because he didn't have those guns then. He didn't have the pill. If anything, he should have asked like, "What do you know of pale man
And no, I
habits?"
mean like it's
You
an
know?
addiction. Like once he starts playing with this stuff, like he's
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah.
if I know some people that are into guns, and just like anything, if you collect something, you could be tunnel vision on it, and
Oh
there
yeah.
are people that are in it. I mean, how many times back in the day when you go to a bodega or something like that, and then they have a rack of magazines, there was always guns and ammo. There's somebody is reading guns and ammo. They are collecting. I mean, look at all the people who play Call of Duty. I myself played, but there are people that I played with that have some of those guns. They're not supposed to, but they have some of these guns. So they're big into it. But anyway, that's it. It's part of the culture. But he is changing, and she sees that. But he's been with the Pale Man for a long time. They don't really say the full amount. We know it took 1 year when they showed up on that other island, but you have to assume it took close to that on the way back.
You see,
At least half.
he's looking at it because he sees purpose with it. He also sees potential and he sees freedom with it and
Oh, he thinks it's
protection.
going to solve. He thinks it's going to
Yeah,
solve all his problems. Like
yeah,
this is it. This is,
yeah.
the
So
red
he's
mouth. The
and
red
she doesn't
mouth.
understand. She thinks that he's just being changed culturally.
Yeah, yeah. But he, like you said, he doesn't want to hear it. He just grunts and just walks out. He's like,
She's like, it doesn't feel like you.
yeah.
He's like, well, I gotta go.
Well, it's been a lot has happened. A lot is happening. When they were together, when we first were introduced to these characters, they were living it up. They had a good life, hanging out on the beach, right? Hanging out with
Yeah,
the local kids and just chilling. But then the prince came over, says, "Hey, my dad wants to talk," and then poof, the rest is history. Now it's all about war and fighting, and so his mind is elsewhere right now, and that's what he went over with these people. Well, he didn't have a choice the way they portrayed it on with the merchants, but he came back for the sole purpose of war. He brought all these guns, and I think that was like the scene after that, right? Where we start seeing Tony and friends just unloading all the guns, the crates from the ship.
Yeah, they start bringing on the crates, and they're telling them like bring the food and water they need for their journey, and then I think we have an audio for this.
Oh yeah, that's just with the cap.
We will see.
Water the sandalwood trade.
Ho'omanavanui. Just be patient.
There's no chance of peace among these people, Canon.
There is. But I fear war is the only way that can bring it.
You see that you survived this, my friend? Because you're of no use to us dead. Right?
No use to us dead. Nice, thanks. That's what you care about. That's it. You just want to use me for all this.
Yeah.
But remember, he's got a goal. Also. He's got that deal, so that way he can get the what was it, the pay or the tree material or something. There was some kind of
he purchased the guns, right?
No, there was something. It was a trade-off with the other woman that's from the island that was already there. Remember, she said, "Hey, we can go partners on this." And that's when Kayana was upset because it was like, "Oh, you're trading off resources of our land," and she was like, "This is how we get what we need," because he bought the guns in exchange. She brings them to the island so that way they can get these trees that can be used to make other materials.
Saddlewood.
Yeah, there you go. The saddlewood, and that's the deal. That's the deal. That's
Mind you, he's never brought this up to anybody there. Like they made this thing. I don't know if this is gonna bite them in the butt later on, where they're like, "Whoa!" Like now,
I mean, right? Yeah, if the councilman's walking around, it's like, "Why are you cutting all these trees down?" And then she shows up. Now, let me explain. Okay,
we had to get the guns in order to do this.
Yeah, because I don't even know if Kayana knows this. I think he sort of does because she did tell him that she made this deal. Right, so he must know some of it, but the one part that I didn't get in all that is right at the end when he's like, "You're no good to us if you're dead." Well, what do you care? You're not here for the war. You got him the gun so that way you can get the saddlewood. I mean,
think that but if Kayana dies and is not able to give him that deal, then
he's not the one doing it, though. He's not the one doing it. I mean, we haven't even seen them start.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that's gonna make the plan. Him and that girl,
he blamed her. What was her name again? I'm blanking on her name. Yeah, he blamed her. Remember, that was the whole thing. We had oil. He was like, "You're selling out our land, our people." She made the deal. He didn't offer
this is the only way to do it. And I think
exactly
at this point.
And do you know what's funny? She didn't even show up in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She did not show up. We saw, and I was really curious because I wanted to see what happened. Did the son embrace her? Did he remember her? Did they reunite? We don't know. Maybe in the next episode. But not in this one. We didn't find that out.
But then the next scene we cut to is Calculi's fortress of bones. It's just so dark and gloomy. And his son comes in. And this whole scene... Oh, this is also... Yeah, this is Heke when she was talking with her husband before when he was hitting the tree. But Calculi's fortress of bones, he's doing his thing. His son comes in and he's like... He turns to him and he says to him, "Your face ruins my appetite." That was so funny. Like what?
Like what was up with that? I mean,
he's so out of pocket this whole time, and then to even make it like worse, and to make us hate him even more. And he's playing this dog. It's like a Shiba Inu or something. I don't know what it is, but he's petting it, and it's so cute. And he's just like, and I'm like, whoa, he has a dog. That's so chill. And then he goes, "All right, now roast."
He did it go good with sweet potato.
Delicious.
I want to see that recipe, right?
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But
he's something else. But yeah, this was that moment where the son is telling him about like, hey, you need to calm down a little bit with all this, and just basically what we already heard before, but not to the extent of telling him to step down, but just calm it down. And he's like, yeah, you're right.
Well, he says, yeah, we cannot, we need to chill. We cannot destroy the royal lineage of the other kingdoms, and we cannot taint our name. And he's like, we must keep Maui pure. And his father's like, yeah, I agree. And I was like, whoa, what? He's like, yep, I agree. We must keep it pure. Come with me. And so they walk over, and that feeling of like walking with your dad to find something is so crazy. But some stuff's gonna go down when someone's like, yo, follow me. He walks over and he sees two chiefs, Maui chiefs, hanging from their arms, or I think they're Maui chiefs, from different districts, right?
Yeah, they're from different districts, and he said they were plotting against him. It's something to that effect, and they were just tied up, and he just walks past them, and the prince like hears one of them mumble something. He's like something about
your father has gone mad.
Yeah, he's gone mad. He's like, I'm the one that brought him that dog. It's a gift, and look at me now. Oh, that was my favorite dog.
The thing I don't get with Prince Kapula is like, there's 1 minute he has like a heart and he's noticing stuff. You see on his face like he's like, whoa. But then it's like he reminds me of like honestly like Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender in a way, where he's like conflicted. He's like, yeah, should I follow my father? Should I go against him? Should I?
Yeah,
I know this is wrong.
He's definitely conflicted.
Brief moments where I'm like, I thought he was gonna unhook the guy, like because the camera panned from like behind, and I thought he was gonna like do something, and he like slit his throat. I was like, okay.
He put him out of his misery. He was tired of hearing him talk. He was like, maybe my dad's right. There we go. All right, Dad, hold up. My knife is dirty. I gotta clean it. Let me rinse it. Yeah, no, it's tough. It's a tough situation because on one hand, he can see all the craziness, but on the other hand, he is the prince, and he knows that eventually this will be all his, whether his dad dies in combat or if he decides to put the blade to his dad himself. I'm sure, like he found out from his friend, there's some that are willing to accept that. So it's a win-win for him, regardless. But right now, it's still his dad, and he's going to stand by him until I'm sure until his breaking point. And you know what I think would be a breaking point? If he kills his buddy there, or if he kills someone that's close to him, and calls them,
because his friend already said like, "Oh, I'm gonna stand up for you."
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he so I'm gonna stand up for you, and then the prince, the brush his head down. No, I got this. But I'm telling you, if something happens to him, if he comes back and he's like, "Oh, look, I found another guy and I strung him up," and it's that dude, then I think
he's gonna.
That's when it's gonna happen.
Because why even show that relationship if it's not as something?
Oh yeah. No, it's the seed has been planted. That's it. Now we have to watch it grow.
So we have Kamanu. She's speaking with Kayana, and Kayana's like basically like, I don't agree with my wife, and I don't agree with Kamehameha. Like, I don't think we should talk to Kiowa. There's no use in trying to find peace between this man. He doesn't want peace. He just wants God of War. He wants to fight. He doesn't care. It's going to end in blood. And she's very team Kamehameha. She's like, we have to honor his wishes. See this through, not for him, but for me. And I guess he has a lot of respect for her. So he's like, okay, fine. But then, boom, we cut to not even like waiting or anything. They just show up on the Black Desert sands and by the water, and they're walking towards Kiowa's guards or whatever. And Kupuohi's like, hey, I'm his cousin. I'm here to speak with him. And then the messenger runs off, which is really fun.
It's like, oh, it's funny the way he went running off. He just like, oh, well, this is later on. I think it's still later on. But he went to the camp like, but he's a messenger. How else are you going to spread the word? And so there you go. He's going to go and let them know that they are here for peace.
So as this is happening, it's funny because we have two scenes going on, and this show does this a lot, where it's like one thing's happening, the other thing's happening, but they kind of like work together in this weird way. So we have Tony showing everybody how to use, a gun, basically
the slow musket. Oh yeah, man.
The musket.
You grab the musket, pour the gunpowder, put the ball in, get the pounder stick. Right, point it up, light the fuse, give a few seconds. All right, reload.
I hope your aim is great, because the awkwardness of having to reload that with someone right in front of you is terrible. No.
Well,
that's why they put those bayonets in front of us, right?
Yeah, that was it for the close combat. But then this is also why when they're ready for war, they have like 5 or 6 lined up, fully loaded. so that way they can keep going. And then there was always somebody that was standing by just to do all the reloads. So once you fired, you put it to your left, then the whatever stock boy grabs it, starts loading it while you're still shooting all the other ones, and then putting it in the next order. And it's a slow process. Man, we've evolved. Oh, that was so nuts.
KO shows up and he's like, he looks at Kupuohi. He doesn't even care about Kahana at this point. He's like, "Oh, the Black Destiny has missed you. So glad that you've come back." And she's like, "I'm not here to stay." He's like, "Well, if you're not here to stay, then what are you here for?"
I heard you got good dog meat. What's up with this? That's a different one. He might have good dog meat also. All these higher ups, but keep going. No, I'm just saying. I'm thinking about.
I'm gonna tell my dog to hide from you, bro.
If the other king is talking about it, and I'm sure it's a delicacy. I mean, his son, the prince, the other prince, he wasn't shocked by it. So I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, but Kamehameha, she tells him like basically Kamehameha wants to have peace and not have this whole thing. And he's like, "Well, you know what? I don't care about him. I don't care about him at all. I want him to bring me the God of War. That's all I care about. I don't want peace." She brings out this thing. It's like a white stone. I guess if he agrees, he'll take the stone. If not, there's a black stone, and that would be like his offer of peace or negating the whole thing. And then she's like, "Well, look, we have to work together because Kayakili's coming. He's an enemy to all of us." And he's like, "He's not my enemy. I don't really care about Kayakili. I only care about this God of War." Like, he does not care. The whole point was giving Kamehameha the God of War so to protect everybody, especially from Kayakili. Like, he's just like, then why do you even want it?
Just and even the wise woman, or whatever what did you want to call her? The
spiritual guide, or
the spiritual advisor. She even looked and she said, "It's white. It's for peace. Like, this is it. They're supposed to be doing peace."
But then we get choose peace. Yeah, I don't know.
He just doesn't want to do it. And then Kayana, and he gets into it, and he starts to say, "I told you this guy doesn't care about peace." And I was like, "Oh, and what are you doing? What's going on with you?" And he's checking him out, and the camera pans, and we see he's wearing pants and stuff.
He just starts insulting him, man. He's like, "You know, your father was a great chief, and I think you'd be very disappointed."
Oh yeah, well yeah, because he pulls out the gun. Kayana pulls out the gun, a pistol, and he points it right at his head, and he can do it. He can end it. And he's like, "Oh." So now I see. So he's like, "Do you honor the gods or do you honor the weapon?" He's just throwing all this, and he stands right in front of it. Now at this point, Kayana's all about weapons right now, guns. We all know this. Then you just pulled it out. Just do it then. Just do it. End it right now. Just pull the trigger.
But he knows it's not the right way. I mean, it's going to end the bloodshed either way. So
yeah, but then don't pull out the weapon.
But then the guys, he doesn't know if the guys are going to attack him and his wife immediately. They're outnumbered, and there's only two of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Don't pull the weapon out. There was no need. They weren't in danger. It was.
He was trying to send that. He was trying to send that as a warning sign. He said, "Look, like, we have it." And as much as KO played it off like, "Oh wow," like, you see, he's rattled. And
Later on, he's definitely rattled by it.
He speaks to his, the spiritual lady, and she starts singing, and she's like, "Yeah, no, you're done. Like, you're not gonna win."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, my father defeated the."
Oh yeah, before we get there though, right when Kayana and his wife are leaving, she has this to say.
"You spoke against me in front of Kamehameha's council, and now you would see KO as our enemy rather than try for peace?
I do not trust him.
We always fought for the gods and for peace, Kaiana. Now you fight for something else."
I fight for our people. There are no gods where I've been.
He's right. Where he's been, the god is the money. That's it. Remember, that was the whole thing. He said that's all that people cared about. It was just about money. So, and he saw the slave trading and all that stuff.
He's right in his ways, and I understand Kupuohi as well too. It's like, and then they just try to negotiate with this guy. He took the stone and just threw it. Like, he's done. So it's back. Like, she tried, and I guess he's just even more frustrated now because he felt like he was vindicated with his answer. He was like, "I knew this was gonna happen." But then KO was like, "I'm gonna call in the mana of the gods. I'm gonna be able to fight them." And then the lady's like, you can't fight them. Like, your father fought them, I know, but he had the god of war, and you don't. So you're gonna lose. But and she starts singing this. She's like, take your fleet, get in the channel, cross the channel, and go face your enemy.
Just give it your best shot. I guess that's it. She was like, all right, well, just go do it. See what happens.
Then we get Kamehameha. He's talking with his council and everybody. They're all surrounding him, and he basically says, I snuck out recently. I snuck out. I took my canoe. I paddled over to this area, a nearby village, I guess, and I was attacked with a paddle, and it broke on my head. And they thought I was trying to attack them. And he's really trying to say, like, he's trying to keep everybody together. He wants to be a man of peace for this island. And the sheer fact that everyone's afraid of people just traveling from island to island, who knows what is what, what's going on. So and it brings back to the title of this, right? What is it? The splintered paddle.
Yeah.
He turns to everyone. He says, I'm going to make a law. I'm going to make a law that says you cannot kill. It doesn't matter if you're a royal. It doesn't matter if you're regulars. Whoever you are, you cannot kill unless absolutely necessary, unless threatened. And he goes, and if you kill, then you're going to have to deal with the consequences of death. It's up to you. So he's really about it.
Kayana's there. It's like he can't believe it. He's like, this is nuts.
He also said this law would also protect Keoa. He's trying to just protect everybody. He doesn't even care, which is back to his level-headedness, but also his naiveness right now, I think.
Yeah, no. Again, he just said it was like, unless we're attacked, they burned your food supply. They attacked. This isn't just word of mouth. Oh, I think they don't like you. I think they're going to do this. We got to attack first. Go. No, that's not the case here. They attacked first. So
I get that he wants his people to feel like they're living in peace, and that's what he's wanted to say. I mean, the law of the splintered paddle, but it's like, how real can this be? We all, even now, we live by this law, right? In some way or form, and it just that people just don't abide by anything. So he could try. There's
a tipping point, and we haven't really heard the people, but I'm sure a lot of them were concerned. It was like, hey, we know that these guys want to come and kill us, or at least take over. Look, they burnt our food supply. What's next? Next is they're going to attack us. This was their warning shot. Bend the knee, give up, give the god of war back. Just walk away. That's the other thing I don't get. If he doesn't care so much about it, and he's not part of that thing, just give it up. Just give it up. Be like, here you go. I'm done. I'm out.
It's the spiritual meaning of it. It's the spiritual. Like, obviously, it's a totem. Or
no,
he hands it to him. Keoa could just run off with it and just live this fantasy in his mind, right? But it also comes with the customs and the culture and the respect of what's happening here. So it's like, it's a title, but it comes with gravitas. But Keoa travels now. This is when he was visiting. When they were visiting before, Keoa traveled to visit Kaikili as a friend, quote unquote. And Kaikili's just chilling there, and he's like, "Oh, the rival, your father was my biggest rival."
And he gives him credit just for showing up unannounced. I was like, "Yeah, that takes some guts right there."
But he's cocky. He's like, your guards and everybody's kind of being lazy right now, and they're all scattered around this island. Like, I don't care. And and it was like, okay, well, if you're not here to kill me and you're not here to offer something, like, what do you want? And he's like, well, the prophecy is a lie. And all I want is for you to get my cousin and return to me the God of War. Like he really thinks this guy's going to be like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll leave you alone. Like, he's literally attacking everyone. For a brief second there, I thought Keoa was being smart and like being like, okay, I'm going to get something together. This is dumb.
No. Because then he even walks over to him and he's like, all right, then what do I get? And he was like, you get my support, and we'll never go against you. And as long as you give us peace, everything will be fine. To me, that doesn't sound like
that's
much.
A dumb thing. That's like what everyone else was probably asking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on now, that's nothing special.
But his point is because he's trying to say, like, if you kill me right now, then everybody back in Hawaii is going to be united against this cause even more.
Yeah.
And he reiterated like Maui has never won against them. So he's using history as like a source of like, hey, watch out.
Yeah. But yeah, he agrees. He's like, okay, cool. Now you can go. Shoo.
I'll send my finest battalion over there.
Yeah, send his finest battalion. But he tells his son to go get one guy in particular. We had to keep rewinding it. Okapuni?
Opuuni. I'm trying.
I think. Well, either way, we're sorry. We're not trying to mess this up on purpose. But this it's the first time we've seen this character, right?
Yeah, and he looks like he's ready to kill everyone.
He's off. This is their. I put this on my note. Their Rambo. He's off the grid. He's like out in nowhere land, sharpening his random weapons. Just next to a campfire. The prince walks up to him, but he already knows what's going down. It's like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna kill him. It's like, well, we didn't say all that. He's like,
and he's insulting the prince. He's like, well, he's like, he's not asking you to lead a real man's job over here. Like you're sending me. He's like, well, he was like, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna take KO his intestines and bring it back and put him on the altar for King Kaikili. And he's like, whoa, like chill. He's like, he doesn't want you to kill him. He's like, if he's sending me, he knows that you don't have the guts to do it.
Oh, man, that is a blow right there. But he's crazy, and hey, the prince doesn't say much. He's like, "You got the juice, man. You got me there. That's it. You got me. Gotta go. You're the wacko here."
So then, in the last scene or so, we have Kaimanu talking with her father, and she was also talking to Kamehameha, and she's really, really stepping up and guiding him, which is basically what her father wanted. It kind of reminds me of like Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, but House of the Dragon, when that father was like the advisor and he had his daughter marry the king, like that whole aspect, and but like not as conniving, like he just had pure intentions, which is nice. But it seems to be working. I think we got the audio for that. It's like the last audio.
Yep.
Is that not what you wanted?
It is. But you have woven Kamehameha and Kaiana in a way that cannot easily be undone.
Kamehameha is the heart of our people, and Kaiana is the fist.
That's a good one. Kamehameha is the heart. Kaiana is the fist. And we need him to. Well, let's update that. He's not the fist. He's the red mouth. That's it. He wants to shoot these guns so bad. I mean, he's walking around with the pants and stuff. He does not look like the guy who is ready for hand-to-hand combat that we saw in the first episode. He's definitely working hard with these guns. I predict when he does go into combat, he is going to look stacked. He's going to have like 2 or 3 pistols, maybe look like a pirate. He's
like studying. It's like studying abroad and picking up the new fashion and just coming back. And and you're like, I don't want to wear that anymore. Check this out. I got these new Jordans. It's all the rage in France.
Right? You wearing a fancy scarf and a fedora? What's up with you? What are you doing?
You're listening to alternative rock on vinyl? Right. What's happening?
Wait, is that French alternative rock? Oh boy, you are really changed. Oh, you're cultured. But yeah, no, he's definitely going in a new direction with all of it. So we'll see how that pans out. But I'm still torn with this whole Kamehameha approach. Like you said, he's too naive with all this, and I think it's going to get hurt. But if you know history, even if you don't, if you looked up Kamehameha, I mean, he's all over the place. He pulls it off. I mean, spoiler, right? Because that is history.
I think it'd be really funny. I think it'd be really funny if that's just the funny aspect of it. Like, he just seems so chill, but he's like absolutely like ruthless on the field.
We do know there's big battles. We know that from also not just from the books, but also from many that have commented or subs to the channel that follow this show, and they're familiar with the history. They said it. There was a lot of brutal battles, and they're like, I wonder how they're going to show this take place. I wonder who's going to win within the show, if they're going to really show the accuracy of what took place. We have yet to see that in this show yet. There's 9 episodes. We're 6 deep right now.
We left one big thing out where the episode ends. Another ship has shown up on I don't know which island. I don't know if they said the island yet, but an island, and we see it's Marley, the evil
with the slave trader captain.
Slave trader guy, yeah.
That he made that deal with. It was like, oh, if we get over there first, we can steal their resources. Of like, oh, who's on it? Savages, nothing we can't handle. We could deal with this. So while everyone here is trying to figure out who's gonna fight, then now we got this new entry. Oh man.
So everyone's coming around. I mean, we got everybody coming I'm hoping the next few episodes. I mean, there has to be some crazy stuff going down.
Oh, it's definitely gonna get there. It's definitely it has to live up to it. It has to get into it. There's gonna be some brawls. I think that's when things will start spiking up with the engagement and interest, because that's what people want.
You see, this is the type of episode that would flow really well with like one of those shows that drops all the episodes at once. Because you're like, okay, all right, now I can just go into the next one and it feels more connected. To wait a whole week after 2 episodes of lots of conversations and stuff, it almost feels like I'm in the battle with him, just preparing for this whole thing. You know what I mean? It's like, which maybe is the point too, just to give it that anticipation. But it's like at the same time, it's like we know this, we know where it's gonna go, we know it.
It's a lot of It just shows that it didn't matter the time period. There's always been politicking going on. Every culture has it, and that's what we see here. A lot,
which is great, and I love that aspect of this. I love that, because I would have never, and no offense to anybody like that, would have never thought all this meticulous thought would go into the islands and everything like that. Like really, it's so sick. But but yeah, it's viewership at the end of the day, and drawing people in, and it is instant gratification these days. So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. But as we know, they didn't skimp with the budget. They did a lot here. They filmed some of this in Hawaii, some in New Zealand. We're going to get battles, without a doubt. I'm pretty sure we didn't skip ahead. We didn't watch ahead, but there has to be. I don't think they're going to drag this all out and then just like we're going to see a bunch of people run at each other and then it's going to fade to black and then just see like a credit reel. It's like,
no, don't get me wrong. We know, like we already know that there's going to be a battle. It has to be.
Yeah.
My point is there going to be the next episode? Is it? Like, am I waiting for the season finale for something?
I really hope they don't do that. I hope they don't do that.
That's what I mean. I know there's going to be
a lot of shows did that back in the day, where it was like, it was always like the last 2 episodes would show all the action, the craziness.
They could do like a part 1, part 2, like they did earlier in the season, and that's the ending.
Doing that in their earlier seasons. Remember, it was talk. All right, politics, talk. Oh wait,
I'm sorry.
Game of Thrones. Remember, it's like, Littlefinger, he's gonna get involved. Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. Next, they're getting to the wall. The White Walkers are coming. When are they coming? Well, I bet it's gonna be in the last 2 episodes. And sure enough,
and it works well for that show only because you didn't know absolutely anybody like who to trust. For example, if the prince Kupuohi said something to his dad, and his dad was like, okay, yeah, I got it, and then killed him. Boom! Like all of a sudden, we're like, whoa! Like, you know what I mean? Just like a little twist, a little thing, just to throw you that like no one's safe. It doesn't matter. Then I'm pulled in and be like, okay, like where could this go? But also, again, it's a historical show. We already know some of the things that what it leads to. So
Kamehameha's wife. Kamehameha's wife. What was her name again?
Kaamanu.
Right. There was that one scene where she's overlooking the water, remember? And Kayana goes up to her and talks about the whole thing, not understanding why they're siding this and that.
Yeah.
But she said something here that was interesting. She said, if you don't do it for Kamehameha, do it for me. What do you mean? When did they get so close?
But then her father also says, remember, you're next to Kamehameha, not Kayana.
But that's what I'm saying. It's they keep planting this as if there's a past that we don't know about. We saw when they first met, when she was hanging out in the cave.
I think that's it because of their meeting. They all diverged on these paths. And remember how much time has crossed. Yeah, it's just a week or 2 for everyone, for a viewer, and for us. Like we got to watch this, and there's no time, like, there's no feeling, and also they didn't do a great job of giving that feeling of time passing in a sense, right?
Yeah.
So, but keep in mind that woman was probably on his mind. He was probably on her mind with what they decided to do in this whole thing that happened before them.
Maybe.
And so the fact that they're together, it's like, okay, we're on this kind of path of like trying to figure this out. So
yeah, and we're trying to figure out. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, things get a little chaotic. We're not saying that we don't enjoy what we're having, but we want to see it lead to somewhere. Because
yeah,
a lot of build going on here. But hey, thanks again, everybody, for sticking with us. That was our coverage for episode 6. How do you feel about Cheaper War so far? You enjoying it? A little too slow? Waiting for something else? Not historically accurate? What is it that you want? Please let us know in the comments, and we'll see how this plans out. We'll see if it actually gets to that next level. That's what we're hoping for, at least for the show. All right, so we'll see you then, everybody. Thanks again. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we'll see you next week.
bye.